You're watching the SEGADriven YouTube channel, and we're finally getting around to checking out the 2023 demo of Sonic Overture 95, developed by Pixie Pie, Unlimited Trees and Lake Fepard. The original 2014 Sonic Overture demo, developed by Jazbeck, Jordan1 and True Power of Teamwork, is one of my favourite things to ever come out of the Sonic fangame scene. It is a 3-act demo of a stage called Sunrise Gate, and it tries to revive a bunch of scrapped Sonic 1 concepts like Sonic's early bunny design, Robotnik in his pyjamas, and this loop design with a sun motif. It's a fantastic piece of work that has great stage design and a brilliant soundtrack that lives in my head to this day because of how catchy it is. Well, a new team led by Pixie Pie, Unlimited Trees and Lake Fepard have revived the project as Sonic Overture 95. This new version is not endorsed by the original team, but is meant to be a loving tribute to it, and you can sense the devs have real affection for that project and just wanted to see more of it. So instead of just letting it sit dormant, they've taken action into their own hands. This new demo changes the aspect ratio to a widescreen one, shortens the stages to 2 acts, and includes a new stage called Granite Zone, which also includes more Sonic 1 concepts from early versions of Marble Zone, like the background UFOs and the little yellow platforms. The scope of the project has expanded to be more of a what if classic Sonic continued on the Sega Saturn style that is so popular with fangame developers nowadays. This means the increased colour palette and even occasional use of 3D make more sense thematically. Overall, this is a very successful revival of Sonic Overture that continues to have great stage design and beautiful visuals, but I think the new soundtrack is a little weak in comparison. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it isn't as memorable. It just sort of occurs in the background, fleshing out the presentation instead of being the real highlight of the 2014 demo. I'm also not the biggest fan of these background totems, statues and poles being things that you can land on and launch yourself off. It's often not clear that you're going to stick to these items, and you often find they break up the flow of the action unnecessarily, as you constantly find yourself accidentally activating them and requiring an additional jump to release you from their grasp. I feel like these need to be scattered around the stages more sparingly, because it feels like you're constantly sticking to them throughout this demo. It's also worth mentioning that the final stage boss of Granite Zone does use some 3D elements and lots of scaling sprites that require additional loading to unpack. This boss didn't perform great on my old PC, but I have played it on a different PC with higher specs, and it ran fine, but it's something to be aware of if you're using an old PC. On the whole, it is great to see more Sonic Overture after so long, even if it's not from the original team. I think Sonic Overture 95 feels like a natural evolution of the original game's concept, even if the soundtrack isn't as memorable. It's still a great playing game with fantastic visuals that I would highly recommend, and I'm very happy to finally be playing more Sonic Overture. As always, we have put a link to download this game in the video description if you'd like to try it. Sonic Overture 95 is only available to play on Windows PCs currently.